I did not know that people could plan to topple a government in a publicized stadium venue. They even stated the time and the date. Did Buhari, Babangida, and Abacha publicize the dates and venues of their coup? I see a Nigeria not far away when we shall have a president that will bring to book all those that forcefully toppled government in Nigeria. Even those that have died or may die soon will be prosecuted posthumously. Until then, we shall continue to debate the true definition or differences between treason and revolution. Fellow Nigerians, we have seen various publications in which the Office of the President of Nigeria and the Inspector General of Police and others insinuated that our movement, the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN, is inciting Nigerians to dare challenge government, inciting Nigerians to dare fight for their rights against the government. They went further to say, in conscious error, that the revolution is intended to force a change of government. That is how they make you afraid. Fear-mongering is a normal tool of the oppressor. But we refuse to fear, break, bend, or be intimidated. The peaceful revolution must go on in Nigeria. I take full responsibility for any statement I make with my mouth in the name of our coalition, believing same to be true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I forbid to be afraid of those that exploit us for selfish gain. Fellow Nigerians, remember that Two-Face Idibia planned a protest march against poor governance in February 2017. The then Inspector General of Police, Idris, wrote a strongly worded letter, published, and it read as follows: that Innocent Idibia, aka Two-Face, and his group are hereby advised strongly to shelve their planned peaceful protest / demonstration in the interest of peace and security. That was how Two-Face was threatening to chicken out. You stop a peaceful protest for the interest of peace. You can see that the former and current Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, they act the same way just because they have the same master. Not because they are bad people, but because they have Buhari. They take orders from the same person, Buhari. So whether you use the term revolution or protest, this dictatorship will always seize our opportunity of expression, but we must say no. Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity in the Presidency, Malam Shehu Gaba, demanded to know on whose name the revolution is being organized. Our answer is very simple. The protest is being carried out in the name of the 90 million Nigerians living in extreme poverty. The revolution is being carried out in the name of the 16 million Nigerian children abandoned on the street by the government. It is carried out in the name of all Nigerians that have lost loved ones to the many incidences of massacre and kidnapping across the country. This revolution is being executed in support of the millions of Nigerians living in camps for internally displaced persons whose villages have been razed to ashes. It is carried out in the name of millions of our unemployed youths and graduates that have turned into Okada riders. This revolution is carried out on behalf of our compatriots who committed suicide because they could take it no more. This revolution is carried out because we do not want the Senate and the Federal House of Representatives. We want a unicameral legislature. This revolution is carried out in the name of Nigerians who are victims of the current misgovernance, angry and in pain that our country has never been this bad. This revolution is carried out in the name of the many families of Nigerian soldiers that have been killed by Boko Haram because the government refused to equip them adequately. It has been carried out in the name of Nigerian soldiers secretly buried without honor and dignity far away from their homes. This revolution is being carried out in the name of staff of various security agencies who died in the course of duty, but their gratuities are being delayed by government while their families are being turned into beggars. We must revolt on behalf of Nigerians who served for 35 years, pension, but die in queue waiting for their pensions, while ex-governors and their deputies continue to receive life pensions after looting their respective states. This revolution is being carried out in the name of Nigerians who work without many months of salaries. It is carried out on behalf of Nigerians too afraid and too weak to speak because of ongoing oppression and intimidation. Fellow Nigerians, this revolution is being carried out because we want a better country. And it is being carried out by the prompting and encouragement by retired General Muhammadu Buhari, who in 2011 advised Nigerians to learn from the revolution of Egypt and act upon it by becoming forces of change. Buhari called for a revolution that should eventually pass through the ballot box like in Egypt. Buhari's statements are in two parts: revolution and ballot box. Yes. So, let us fully understand the revolution of Egypt so that we can understand what General Buhari really advised us about and how the revolution in Egypt ended. The Egyptians complained about poverty, unemployment, corruption, and autocratic governance, exactly as we have in Nigeria today. In addition, Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak refused to yield the call of the people for constitutional reform, just as Buhari is doing now. The case of Nigeria has become even worse compared to what happened in Egypt. So, on the 25th day of January 2011, the Egyptians put aside all their differences and they gathered at Tahrir Square in Cairo, the capital city of Egypt. In response to Buhari's call in 2011, our people gathered at the National Stadium in Lagos and other venues, but they were all locked out and occupied by battle-ready police officers. The Egyptians were dispersed on the first day of the protest, just as it happened in Nigeria. But they started to gather again because they screamed that the police have no right to stop their protest against hardship. Dictator Mubarak provoked his people more when he said, "I am in charge and I have the authority to adopt measures. I have all the pieces of the puzzle, while you do not have." The Egyptians refused to be intimidated. They hit the street again and stayed there for 18 days. How did the Egyptian revolution end in a ballot box that gladdened the heart of Buhari, which made him to suggest it to us? The president of Egypt, Hosni Mubarak, resigned and handed over power to the Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, SCAF. They organized an election, and results from the ballot box was won by Mohamed Morsi in 2012. 1 year after Morsi came into power, the Egyptians revolted again. They protested again in a big way because Morsi was not performing as expected. Again, Morsi, another president, honorably resigned from office. It did not need to wait till the end of his tenure because government is about the people. Because of his awareness of the Egyptian revolution, we believe that Buhari knows that there is honor in resigning, like what happened in the Egyptian revolution, which he recommended. After the resignation of Morsi, the Egyptian chief of armed forces, General Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, announced on state TV that the constitution had been suspended. We all know that Nigerians have been clamoring for a call for a total overhaul of our constitution. Thereafter, Adli Mansour, the head of the Egyptian Supreme Constitutional Court, was made interim president. A year later, elections were held and the ballot box spoke again. Fattah al-Sisi became the president of Egypt. We salute retired General Muhammadu Buhari for suggesting a revolution that led to the ballot box when tenures were not ended in Egypt. Though General Buhari advised Nigerians to learn from the Egyptian revolution, it did not advise the Nigerian police to behave properly. After the Egyptian revolution, General Buhari commented thus: "The military in Egypt showed exemplary conduct Why? With the way they refuse to be used to attack the forces of change. So why is Buhari attacking the forces of change now? Buhari used the Nigerian police exactly the same way the slave traders did many decades ago in Nigeria. Police officers brutally attacked our journalists, mashed their heads with their boots and forced them to enter into their prison vehicles. Others were pursued and fiercely tear-gassed. Live bullets shattered the knees of a compatriot. Sirens bled to instill fear on our people. Armless Nigerians were pursued, grabbed and thrown into prison vehicles for daring to speak up against hardship, for daring to use our streets. The mobile phone of one of the protesters was stolen. We know that it was stolen by one of the police officers. Nigerians were driven off into detention like a conquered people. That was how slave masters pursued our people many years ago from village to jungle. Who is a slave? A slave is a person who is only subject to the will of another, one who has no freedom of action, but whose person or services are only under the control of another. Are we slaves in Nigeria? Just as the police threw our people into detention or into their black markets, that was how it happened. Many years ago, slave traders, they threw nets over our people like fishermen and fish from water. Slave masters beat our people into submission and weakened their spirits. They were put in chains by strangers and taken away from their homes and families in a single file and walked them into detention as conquered people, into waiting ships that transported them as slaves from Badagry to unknown places. Those that were too weak were thrown into the Atlantic Ocean, fed to crocodiles, sea snakes, and tiger sharks. In that journey, when our people were taken away as slaves, just as Nigerian police arrested and continued to unlawfully arrest our people sang in tears. Oh my home, oh my home, when shall I see my home? When shall I see my native land? I will never forget my home. My mama at home, my papa at home. When shall I see my home? When shall I see my native land? I will never forget my home. And they were taken away as slaves. That was how some Nigerians sang when they were put in Black Maria, taken away like slaves. In the year of the Lord 2019, that is how the Nigerian police, they are still doing to our people, because the Inspector General of Police had instructed all police commissioners to be brutal with Nigerians in our country. Some governors even instructed their local government chairman to supervise the brutality. General Buhari and his team promised us change with their manifesto in 2015, but they lied. They lied. All through the years, we have been enduring, and we have reached a point in Nigeria where we can no longer endure, because our country has become a failed state, where our political and economic system have become so weak that the government is no longer in control. We can no longer endure the daily killing, kidnapping, uncommon hardship, and visionless government, where advisors in the presidency continue to tweet, and use the social media to ridicule our sensibilities. The revolution protest is long overdue in Nigeria, and the government must stop unlawful harassment and intimidation of law-abiding Nigerian citizens. These slavery days, those days are over. They are over. We are different from Buhari, because according to Buhari, before the 2015 election, he threatened that the blood of monkeys and baboons will flow if he did not win. That alone was treason. This government is a huge setback to our country. It has taken us back 20 years, just like PDP did. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Beware, a leader shall arise one day in Nigeria, and the time is coming soon. And it will give all of you, corrupt leaders that have made us poor, will give you the Jerry Rawlings treatment. You and members of your family, in your own interest, you must begin to remote Nigeria now. You make us suffer at your own risk. As I am talking now, government officials are writing, and they are just They just want to look for an error that I will make, because on internet they are looking for people that they will call terrorists, or they have committed treasonable offenses, when they should be turning the criticism to solutions. We have seen the pictures where government paid a protest contractor to hire jobless, lazy youths to demonstrate against Amnesty International in Nigeria for speaking truth to power. It's shameful. In the words of the spokesperson for DSS, the action of that woman threatened public safety, peaceful coexistence, and social harmony of Nigeria. You took oath of office. You took oath to protect our country, citizens, and constitution. By doing that, you have committed yourself to national service. For any Nigerian that is killed because you failed to protect, his or her blood is on your head. God bless the day I boarded an aeroplane and traveled out of Nigeria. I would not have known that I was living in hell on earth in Nigeria. I would not have known that countries use their resources for national development. I did not know that wealth could be distributed amongst citizens of a country. Children are paid salaries just for being children. The unemployed are paid. Why? National resources. And you want us to be quiet? But Buhari, please resign if you cannot do your job. Or if you cannot keep your campaign promise, resign. Retired General Muhammadu Buhari promised change. You cannot cause change without a revolution. We demand a revolution protest that will bring about that change. Revolution in industries, agriculture, employment, security, transparency, accountability. Revolution in our justice system. During the campaign of 2015, this government asked us to stone them if they do not provide stable electricity within 6 months. 50 months thereafter, they have done nothing. We still pay for darkness. They lied to us with their deceitful manifesto that has made us the poverty capital of the world. We must quickly revolt before they turn our country to the world capital of fire. We are talking about the revolution of awareness that will free us from oppression as permitted by law. Our days of fear are gone. Revolution is relative. Protest is a dictionary synonym for revolution. After any other definition you apply is your wish. We preach revolution without ammunition. The current leader of the All Progressive Congress, Ahmed Tinubu, urged us to call for a revolution in September 2014. He called it common sense revolution. In the words of Tinubu, a revolution that calls forth a return to decency, probity, transparency of process, and fairness in outcome. That is exactly the same revolution we are preaching today. Is common sense revolution terrorism? Is common sense revolution treason? If yes, then arrest Tinubu also. Tinubu is behind this revolution. Arrest him. Thereafter, arrest Buhari whenever he leaves office. Because he too is part of the revolution. When you called for a revolution, it was not a crime. But now that others are calling for it because we are in government, it's not a crime. The organizers of the 5th August protest, they scheduled the stadium for their protest. That was the venue. Do you organize regime change revolutions in stadiums? When Buhari plotted and executed a coup for regime change in 1983, did he announce the date of the coup like the organizers of the revolution did on August 5? In the month of July 2018 alone, 282 Nigerians were killed and 97 were kidnapped. And you want us to be silent? No! We refuse to be silent. It's our country. It's our right. We have rights to live and right to life. Don't tell us what to say. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tell us how to think. You have no right to do that. Recall that the former DSS state director Mike Ejiofor was also kidnapped in 2017. It's Nigeria. It's all well in Nigeria. It's all well in Nigeria. Even state governors that have been complaining about security problems, you are supposed to be supporting this revolution. Rather, some of you even tell your local government chairpersons to make sure that the revolution does not happen in your domain. But you are the ones pocketing the security vote. Where is the security vote that you have been pocketing? Governors who set up canopy and carry traditional cultural dances to celebrate the construction of roads and the building of bridges are saying they are doing us favor for using our money. And that is why people like Okorocha could spend billions for roads that became death trap and end up becoming a so-called senator. That is why people like Gandoje could spend so much money to empower youths to sell bread and tea. Why did he not give bread and tea to his children to sell in the name of empowerment? We have taken this rubbish long enough as a people. This is too much. This is too much. And somebody is telling us not to talk. It's not, what kingdom are we living in? Our rights to protest is constitutionally guaranteed, nationally and internationally. We have the right to protest even without police permit. Nigerians must know that. You had yourself Buhari and his cohorts. They had their Save Nigerian group. They protested in 2014. They protested in 2010. They with Oyegu, Ogbonaya, Onu, and the others. They all protested. They went as far as Aso Rock, Eagle Square. Now you don't even want us to use a stadium. Why? You protested against Jonathan Goodluck because of the increment in fuel. Because of you, that the fuel was reduced to 87. Was that a revolution? Now the same Buhari today does not want Nigerians to complain when the prices of everything is now higher than what it was when he protested. Now, what is the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria that the government have been talking about? I started speaking because I had a leading in my spirit to speak to Nigerians. I resisted that leading for a long time until the burden was too much. Then I had to release myself and I started to speak. And I did my first video in February 2018, addressed to Buhari on how to make our country better. Go and check that video and see how polite I was. We are all Buharists. We thought he was coming to change our country for good. Now look at where we found ourselves. When I started to do that video, people wanted to join what I was doing. Subsequent videos came out. Words started to come into my head on the street, everywhere, in the bathroom, in the kitchen. What to write? I kept writing. If I decide to speak, I can speak to Nigerians now every weekly for the next 3 months. The words have been drafted. They are not my words. Many of you are more eloquent than I am, more intelligent than I am. But I am under a leading, and nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me. If you want to know who I am now, go to point number 10. In the prophecy of Apostle Johnson Suleiman for 2019. That is the person speaking now. By the grace of God. I say with all sense of humility. The time has come. We cannot go back to our black days. Don't turn our country to Rwanda. Our rights cannot be challenged. The Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria initially was European Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, but because people wanted to join our movement outside Europe, we changed it to Global Coalition. Now we're in 40 countries. Nigeria's in 40 countries within the space of less than 1 year, and we hope to hit 100 before December. Why? We want to build a Nigeria that is citizen-owned, and nobody can intimidate us. Nobody can take us back to our yesteryears. Malam Garba Shehu, aide to Buhari, claimed that the 5th August revolution failed. He mocked at Nigerians fighting for their rights. Of course, we know that he's working for his salary. That was how Abacha thought many years ago, that he had the world in his pocket. The revolution cannot fail. Some Nigerians did not turn up because they saw how Buhari's government shot and killed many shite protesters. And our people have become too hungry. They don't have the energy to walk long distances. Others did not turn up because they have completely lost hope in this government. 4 years is enough to know. Many have given up hope on Nigeria. Too sad. That is why they did not turn up. Our people have been scared, impoverished, suppressed, oppressed, cajoled, coerced. In a democracy. As for funding, we fund ourselves. We raise funds whenever the need arises. The only time I came publicly to ask for funding was for Joy Turner. I read her story on Vanguard newspaper. Joy Turner, her village was razed by gunmen. Entire village, many people were killed. Her husband was killed. She was 4 months pregnant when gunmen attacked. They cut off her right hand and they left her to bleed. Her right hand was jumping on the ground. The gunmen picked the right hand and walked away with it. She was left to bleed to death. Fortunately, she didn't die and she did not lose the pregnancy. Now, she has a son, and his name is Sunday. We connected with the journalist that published the story. We traced him to Makurdi, and we asked him to locate her. He met with her at the Abagana camp in Benue State. We took her from the camp. We raised funding for her. We rented an apartment, renovated, and furnished. And now we give her monthly stipends. We may not be able to help her, but we can help one. We are planning to train the child throughout university level. We give them monthly stipend. A few weeks ago, I was called that little Sunday had malaria. I felt so bad because the little boy calls me daddy on telephone. Herdsmen have killed his father. One of us paid to put nets to prevent mosquitoes. In a government that purportedly spent $16 million to buy mosquito nets, our children are dying. And you don't want us to speak out. You want to suppress our voices. Now we are training Joy Turner on trading. Our plan is to mobilize more funding after this video for her to get a mini supermarket. We can pay for some years, pay more for the flat that she's renting now, and she could be able to fend for herself. We just want to train the child throughout university level. These are things we can do for ourselves. We don't care about our tribe. We don't care about our religion. We can only begin to make progress as a people if we put tribe and religion beside us. Love conquereth all. If you want to key into the project of Joy Turner, we open a bank account for her. You can pay directly into her account. We must help her. Now we have to look for prostheses here in Europe to send to her. That's what we're planning to do now, so that she can use her right hand again. Now she struggles to learn using her left hand to strap a baby on her back and to do many other things. That is the country we found ourselves. We are not happy, and you don't want us to talk. If you go to the comment section, you will see Joy Turner's bank account number. You can pay directly to her. Into her account, we have somebody in the bank that is helping to supervise how she spends. You are not paying to me, you are not paying to Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria. We are paying directly to her account. And she could get a good business. This is what we must do. Our country is bleeding. Can't you feel the mood of the people? I've heard things that show Omoyele Sowore is connected to our coalition. Omoyele Sowore is not remotely or directly connected to our coalition. We saw what they are planning to do. We saw the plans, what they demanded for the revolution, and we keyed into it because it was for national development. And that is how we are ready to key into any program, any project by anybody or group of persons that will bring about a renewal of Nigeria. If Buhari decides to protest after he leaves office, the way he protested before he came into office, we are also prepared to join him and others. So that is something that everybody must know. Now, I have a letter in my hand. This is a report written by one of the Nigerian embassies about me and our movement. They thought it was a classified information, but here it is in my hand. And I have to read it now. Okay, well, let's keep this aside. I'll post that some other time. But the content is all about a lot of speculations there. A lot of speculation there. Unconvincing display of efficiency. Unconvincing display of efficiency. Now, if you want to join our coalition, you are free to join. Anybody is free to join. Police officers, some of you are even disguising to join our group. You are all welcome. We have nothing to hide. We mean well for country. So don't think you are being smart. You can join our WhatsApp. You can join some of you are my personal friends on Facebook, on Frederick and Friends group. You are all welcome. So don't think you are disguising. Don't think you are being smart. You are all welcome. We mean well. Are we asking for too much? We are saying we want a fair. The disparity income is too high. We want a fair distribution of our resources. Is that asking for too much? That is not asking for too much. And that is what we must do. On the 1st of November 2018, we had an online election to choose a presidential candidate because we observed that Nigerian election is usually hijacked by the money bags. And that was how Omoyele Sowore won our election. Online election on the 1st of November 2018. Then we campaigned for him. We shall do this again. And whoever wins, no matter your party, your region, or your religion, we support you. You fail, no problem. Our support for Sowore ended after the election. But when he came out with this idea, we keyed into it. We would have keyed into it if it was from another person also. Nigeria belongs to each and every one of us. We did not escort anybody to Nigeria. I was thinking about revolution more than 2 decades ago. I've written books on Nigerian politics. Here in my hand you can see Revolution Without Ammunition. Pathways to Nigeria's second independence. Our independence expires since 1999, when politicians started to treat us as second-class citizens. This is part 3. This is part 2. This is part 1. You can Google them online. You can read them online or order from Amazon, from Green Publishers and others. I've written about hate speech in Nigeria. I've written about godfatherism in Nigerian politics. So the idea of the revolution did not start today. It has been in my mouth. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why. And everybody in Nigeria, they feel the same way. You cannot bring total change to that country unless there is a revolution. We need a Nigeria where everything works. Now we can even understand why they prevented Sowore from the presidential debate. They didn't want him. They were scared of him. We cannot continue like that as a people. So we must make sure that we are doing our best to build our country. By His grace, I live far away from the hardship and insecurity in Nigeria. But I can no longer endure the suffering of my people. Nigerians must rise up and say no. We are not talking about the blood of monkeys and baboons here. We must not allow our country to be reduced to 2 Kings chapter 6, verses 25 to 29, where there was famine in Samaria, and people started to kill and to eat their children for food. We must not allow our country to become Samaria in our very eyes. No! No! And you must understand that I call him General Muhammadu Buhari. He's not our president. The Global Coalition for Security and Democracy does not recognize Buhari as our president. Why? Because 58 Nigerians were killed. He rode to power with the blood of our people. And that is unacceptable. Can a presidential aspirant in a developed country kill one person? One person? Buhari that does not attend ceremonies of Nigeria that were killed? Now you now kill 58? And you now want us to call you excellency and honorable? No! We want to see the list of our people that were killed. The European Union did not even regard your election as being free and fair. No! And no blood was shed against your people. We cannot continue like that. Whoever wins the election, fine. But if the Supreme Court finally decides that the sham election of presidential election of 2019 was won by Buhari, of course, we now begin to accord him, unwillingly though, we now begin to accord him the respect of a president. But for now, it's not our president. You cannot be killing our people, you superintend over the killing of our people, and you want us to be silent? No! No! We cannot continue like that. We cannot continue like that. Nigerians must seek justice. The time has come. We no longer have a right to life in our country. No. Even when Nigerians attempt a revolution through the ballot box, they kill us. Look at the police. Look at the soldiers. Look at their barracks where they live. Even the dogs of the politicians you protect cannot live in the police barracks. Your police barracks and the army barracks, they are worse than prisons in developed countries. And we are helping you to change your situation. And you pull the trigger. You pull the trigger against our people. A revolution is not just a question of pulling a trigger. Its purpose is to create a fair and just society. Those are the words of Nelson Mandela from his book, Long Walk to Freedom. We are helping you to change your situation. And it was very, very shameful to see that our police officers were jubilating because they dispersed unarmed protesters. But when you tell them to go and fight terrorists in Sambisa, they tell you that they were not trained to fight terrorists, but were trained to destroy Nigerians. Buhari ordered that the Oshodi Apapa road should be eased within 3 months. He gave orders. Police did not go. Nobody went there. I'm sure Buhari did not even know he does not even know that they didn't go there. Buhari ordered the Inspector General of Police the former Inspector General of Police to go to Benue State to end the killing. He didn't go. Buhari didn't know. Now he has ordered you to tear gas Nigerians, and we are junketing over us like conquered people. One day you shall pension and you will be on the queue. Some of you might even die on the queue because you killed people, because you intimidated people that were fighting for you. We cannot continue like that. We cannot continue like that, my people. We must begin to rise up and speak with one voice. Whether you call it revolution, whether you call it protest, it is not a problem. It is not a problem. If you have a family member that is a police officer or a soldier that you have not seen for the past, send us an email. They cannot die or be buried like that, or secretly buried. We must rise up as a people. We must rise up as a people. The time has come. The time has come. DSS claimed that Sowore crossed the line. But we are standing here to say that the Nigerian government has crossed the line for shooting at our people, for introducing artificial hunger, for terrorizing, arresting, and detaining unlawfully. The Nigerian government has also crossed the line. The Christian Association of Nigeria has paid over 300 million naira within a span of 2015 and 2019 for ransom for kidnapped Nigerians. And you don't want us to talk? There is an evil altar raised against our country, but we must all rise up to alter the altar. The time has come for us to be free. The time has come for us to be free. With our huge natural resources, we cannot be where we are now. Democratic Republic of Congo threw away our embassy staff and property because they have no respect for us anymore all over the world. South Africa granted visa-free entry to countries like Ghana, but they didn't give to Nigeria. Why? We are not matured enough. That is the country that this government has brought us, and you want us to be silent? by manipulating words to criminalize our rights, it is absolutely unacceptable. We refuse to be intimidated. No. Sowore could have been arrested because at every point in time, Buhari must have somebody in detention. So he must have been arrested because there were plans to release El Zakzaky. It is in the gene now an attitude of Buhari to always keep people in detention unlawfully against court orders. In 1988, his mother died when he was in detention under Babangida, and he could not go for the funeral ceremony of his mother. That pain is what is now transferred aggression to Nigerians. That is the problem. Why? He has an unforgiving spirit, and he's a leader. We cannot continue like that. Look at the motto of our country: unity and faith, peace and progress. Today, there is no unity in country, no faith in country, no peace in country, no progress in country, and you want us to keep quiet? If all is well, why does DSS use generator in their office? If all is well, why did Buhari budget 33 million naira just to service generator and 83 million naira to buy fuel for generators? Add that money, it's enough for you to install solar power in Aso Rock. That will take you for many years. This is not government. This is not the change they promised us. If you don't want a revolution, so what do you want? You want us to be obedient to poverty? You want us to be obedient to insecurity? We want us to be dying. We see you and we say, Your Excellency, we are dying. No! No! We cannot continue like that as a people. We have nothing to hide as a coalition. We have nothing to hide. The time has come for our people back home to know that they are not alone. We are with you. Stand up wherever you are. The time has come for every one of us to begin to speak with one voice. You can be very sure that very soon, they've even started different campaigns. They have been doing different blackmail and all those things against the Sowore. Oh, he's a British agent. Oh, he wanted to be minister. He could not get the ministerial slot. That was why he's organizing a revolution. Oh, because he did not win an election. Sowore has been campaigning for a revolution even before the election. There is no set date to revolt and to be free. There is no set date to tell your chain to break. Your chain has to break at the command at any time you want it to break. Fellow Nigerians, the time has come for us to do something, and the time is to speak. I respect your religion, but I also want you to respect my religion. Therefore, I must do something now. Hear me! Wherever you are, Omoyele, the son of Sowore, you spoke everywhere by day, but they kidnapped you at night. But you are not alone. You are not alone. The struggle shall not betray you. This struggle shall not betray you. The peaceful revolution must continue. They seized you, but we are forever grateful because you left behind the orange color of this struggle. We cannot betray Sowore. We cannot betray anybody. That means well for our country. Freedom is not an orange that falls on its own when it is ripe. You force freedom to fall. Sowore, thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked. Omoyele Sowore, weeping may endure for a night, but surely joy cometh in the morning. Olusegun Obasanjo was detained by Sani Abacha in 1995, and Obasanjo became president in 1999. Buhari was detained by Babangida in 1985, and Buhari became president in 2015. Now that Buhari has detained Sowore, have your way, Lord. Have your way. Have your way, Have your way, Lord. Have your way. Oh, Lord. Have your way. 70-year-old Oka, Mrs. Sariyu Okomu, in Oshobo, walked into the revolution protest on the 5th day of August. She dropped a basin of fufu by a roadside seller, and she joined the protest because she heard the messages of truth. She heard about the hardship in the country. She said that she had no mattress to sleep on. She works very hard, but makes about 1,000 naira a day. 70 years old. She dropped her fufu. But the police came. The police that have sold their souls to Satan, they dragged Mama. They dragged her on the road. They beat her. They inflicted pains on her. An old woman, 70 years, an elder, senior citizen. They brutalized her like a common criminal. But the good news is that Mama has paid her dues. Mama has paid her dues. We are in touch with her. Hopefully she will open a bank account. I'll make a separate video for everybody to pay something into her account. Never again must Mama turn fufu to ok. Never again shall she be a fufu seller because she has paid the due. Let us empower her, not the type of trader money empowerment that Osinbajo is using to buy vote. No. On normal circumstances, Osinbajo ought to have visited that woman. But if somebody had died, he would have visited because he's not the minister of condolence visits. We cannot continue like that. Mama, she shall no longer be called just Mama. Henceforth, we have to call her Mama Revolution. She holds the spirit of the struggle. We shall no longer call her just Mrs. Okomi. Henceforth, she is our Mama Revolution. Nigerian youths, if a woman of 70 years could put aside her fufu, the time has come for you to stand up. Our days are numbered, but your times are longer. You should stand up. It is time for Nigerians to come together. We must begin to put our fufu, our basin of fufu aside. And 3,200 naira that Mama Revolution tied to the end of her wrapper got lost. We know that a police officer must have stolen it. We know. We know what they can do. We shall lift her out of poverty, not the type of lifting out of poverty that Buhari said he lifted 5 million Nigerians out of poverty in his dream. No. So please wait for that video, and we shall tell you the account number. Let us do something for Mama. Fellow Nigerians, the time has come for us to put our basin of fufu aside. You can begin to do your demonstration, your protest. Just go on, but it must be peaceful. Revolution without ammunition. You can use any name. Hashtag Occupy Nigeria. Hashtag Revolution Now. Hashtag Nigeria must be free. Hashtag Occupy Nigeria. Do it. We have many problems in Nigeria that we can protest about. Nigerian students have started protesting against the killing of Nigerians in South Africa. I did a video on that before. Continue with that protest. Don't stop it. Expand it, but no killing. Nigerian soldiers and police officers that have killed us enough. We cannot destroy our houses or our people. No. Pick any item that is a problem in Nigeria and protest against it. You could be protesting against the economic hardship, protest against corrupt persons in government. We even expected the Nigerian police to protest the killing of 3 of their colleagues by soldiers. But no, they were too naive to protest. Why? Because they are not Nigerians that are fighting for their rights. There are many issues to protest against, and we must not be intimidated. My freedom began the day I decided to speak out. I no longer speak for a second freedom. I now speak so that my children will not pass the rough roads we passed or begin another struggle by repeating the words I have spoken for their freedom. We can sweep our mountains with the brooms of the enemies. Then one day we shall all look back at sunrise and say with gladness of heart, once upon a time, there was no freedom here. In leadership, there comes a time of reconciliation. You must put your ego aside. Bring all your people together. Reconcile with them. Even your critics and your opposition. Free Sowore. Free him. Unconditionally. Call IPOB. Call Nnamdi Kanu. Reconcile with them. I heard that Sowore was arrested because he went to meet with Nnamdi Kanu. Why not? Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for his rights. It is constitutional what they are doing. Though I do not support the breaking of Nigeria. But I respect what they are doing. It is their rights. You have no right to tell somebody to tell two Nigerians not to meet. If I see Nnamdi Kanu, I will not only shake hands with him, I will hug him as a brother. Every genuine activist is a patriot. Nobody wanted Nigeria to break if not for this leadership that has turned us to be enemies of ourselves. A leader should be able to call the sheikhs, reconcile with them, call Boko Haram. Buhari said that he knows the people behind Boko Haram. Reconcile with them, call X-Men. This is where your diplomacy comes to play. You have many advisors. Don't they advise you or you don't listen? Nigerians said that they want restructuring. Restructure the country. Government is about the people. Nigerians met in 2014 for the confab. Where is the 2014 report? We spent a lot of money for that. Visit that confab. That is how a country is built. And that is what you must do. We cannot continue fighting ourselves and making internal enemies when we have enough enemies. There's a time to reconcile. Unban IPOB, they are not terrorist group. Unban the sheikhs. Let's build Nigeria again. That is the leadership that we're talking about. And that is what we should do. Something will happen in Nigeria very soon, and everybody will become so angry at the same time and at the same level. Then the hands of our soldiers and police officers will become too weak to carry their guns because their hearts will be equally heavy. Our prayers are not in vain. Our prayers are not in vain. Our prayers are not in vain. I see a Nigeria not far away where the Nigerian Labour Congress will call on Nigerians to sit at home, close the banks, close everywhere. No work, nothing. Everybody stay at home until they reduce the salaries of federal legislators and the executive. Enough of monkey the work, bamboo the chop. I see a time not far away where the Nigerian Bar Association and the National Judicial Council will tell everybody to stay at home, close all the courts. Whenever a government disobeys one court order, we want to salute Femi Falana, we want to salute Serap, we want to salute all the organizers of Coalition for the Revolution. We want to salute all of you. We want to salute you for your energy. We want to salute all those that came for your resilience, all those that are preparing to come for future protests. We salute you. Our better days are yet to come. Our better days are yet to come. Let fear has no place in your heart. Don't give any space to fear. We must begin to arise as a people now. The time has come. The time has come. So, despite our differences, we must put our differences together and start to work as a people. The Egyptian revolution that Buhari talked about, they put aside their differences and they came together. Islamic, liberal, anti-capitalist, nationalist, and gender equality advocates. Now we must come together, whether we are Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, traditionalists, pagans, Jews, or Gentiles. Martin Niemöller, the German Lutheran pastor, 1892 to 1984, he spoke fearlessly against Adolf Hitler. I'm talking about not the new Nigerian Adolf Hitler, Naimola said, first they came for the communists and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionists and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews. I did not speak out because I am not a Jew. Then they came for me and there was no one left to speak for me. Must begin to come aside. Put aside your basin of fufu. And the time has come also for us to tell our Nigerian artists, musicians, and Nollywood that they have abandoned us long enough. They grew to fame through us. But since the 2015 election, when they were burying 100 soldiers in Borno State, Buhari was busy hosting Nollywood in Abuja because they didn't care for our soldiers. Since then, Nollywood, musicians, all of them, they stopped talking about the affairs of Nigeria because the hardship does not concern them. Therefore, we are going to declare as follows, that we are going to start a campaign, hashtag unfollow Nigerian artists now. Those ones that are with us, you know them. Don't unfollow them. Begin to unfollow them in Instagram, on Facebook, anywhere, everywhere, because they are no longer with us. They are not far from the people that made them to rise to fame. Hashtag unfollow Nigerian artists now. The time has come. They are no longer with us. They are not very different from us. And we can no longer endure this. Unfollow them. Now, the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, we are calling on all Nigerians in diaspora. Protest to your embassies. As you are protesting to your embassies, letters have been written to your respective coordinators. You are going to submit letters to the ambassadors, and a copy of that letter you must send to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of that country. Let them know what is happening in our country, Nigeria, because our diplomats and Nigerian officials, they go there to lie. Post a copy of the letter you are receiving that has given to the Nigerian ambassador to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of that country. And as you are going, you must go with the local press. They must publish every protest in every country, because as long as the Nigerian government has decided to kill our people, to intimidate our people, we are out to embarrass this government, because our country, Nigeria, must be free. The country belongs to each and every one of us, and the protests have begun. So we must continue doing it. We have protests in London on the 19th of August. Be there in front of the embassy. Stockholm, Sweden, 20th August. Austria, Vienna, 29th August. France, Paris, 29th August. Brazil, Brasilia, August 28th. Germany, Berlin, August 28th. Toronto, Canada, August 28th. Italy, Rome, August 28th. Belgium, Brussels, August 28th. The guys in US, they are planning, others are planning. Thank you guys in Missouri, USA, for what you did. As you go with the local press. The time has come for us to speak, and we are going to tell the world, let them know, let the world know that we are dying in Nigeria. We are going to let them know that we cannot continue like this as a people. Let them know that our children are being sold as suicide bombers and that our government is doing nothing about them. Let them know, let the world know that they must stop lending money to Nigeria. Let the world know that General Buhari is taking away our freedom of expression and association. We must tell the world that the human rights abuse is choking us in Nigeria. We must tell the world that Leah Sharibu and our 114 Chibokers have been abandoned by the Nigerian government. We must tell the world that our government lied to us with their manifesto since 2015. We must tell the world that our soldiers are dying because our government refused to give them ammunition to fight in yonder places. We must tell the world that they must ban Nigerian politicians and their families from traveling to their countries. We must tell the world that this government is using underage voters to impose poor leadership on the Nigerian people. We must tell the world that we need help. Nigeria needs help. We must tell the world that the Nigerian government are shielding herdsmen terrorists and have wrongly declared the Shites and the IPOB as terrorist group. We must tell the world that our rulers watch us die, but they travel abroad to lie. We must tell the world that we have a ruler that only visits the scenes where Nigerians are being killed, but sends condolence messages to other countries in times of tragedy. We must tell the world that if they do not act now, that delay could be dangerous. We must begin to tell the world that if we break as a country, that it will affect every country around us. We must refuse to be intimidated. Our days of fear have been replaced with the day of protest. Our conscience is clear and our mission is justified. One thing we know for sure, as members of the Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, that we pledge to Nigeria, our country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all our strength, to defend our unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. So help us God.